I'm Ashton Kofer with Lakeshore Cryotronics, and this is a shortcut video of the MeasureLINK-MCS software. In this MeasureLINK scripting tutorial, we will be learning how to create scripts that can log measurements from an instrument and display those results in charts, tables, and reports. And for the purposes of this tutorial, we will be using the Lakeshore 155 precision voltage source combined with a Keysight 34420A voltmeter to write a script that outputs a voltage from the Lakeshore 155 and records the voltage on the Keysight 34428, all while displaying the results in real time. At this point, we have already connected both of our instruments to the computer and installed the appropriate drivers. So to begin, we are going to click on the scripting button from the home pane and create a new script. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to click on Edit Device References, and we want to make sure that our two instruments, the Lakeshore 155 and the Keysight, are both selected. Now whenever you take a measurement from an instrument in MeasureLink, the results can be stored in an object called Measurement Results. And this Measurement Results object is essentially just a table of values. So let's go ahead and initialize that measurement results object in the data acquisition script. And you can find the documentation for this measurement results object, as well as extra examples for anything covered in this tutorial in the API reference. Now, since the measurement results object can be visualized as a table, we're going to want to have two columns in that table. The first column is going to be data from the Lakeshore 155 for the voltage that is outputted, and the second column is going to be data from the Keysight for the voltage that is recorded from the Lakeshore 155. So let's go ahead and add those two columns to our measurement results object. And you can notice that for each of these columns, we added a name for the column as well as a data type. So at this point, we are going to write the part of the script that actually runs the measurement. So fundamentally, the measurement should loop through a range of voltages, and for each of those voltages, it should set that voltage on the Lakeshore 155 and then record the measured voltage by the Keysight into the measurement results object that we initialized. So I'm going to begin by creating a counter of how much voltage we want to step up each time. And we're going to go ahead and start with 1 voltage for the beginning. So now in our while loop, we're going to say while the counter is less than whatever voltage we want to go to. So let's say we're going to go from 1 volt to 5 volts. So we'll say while counter is less than 5. And then we can add in what we want to do for each voltage. So for each voltage, we want to set that voltage on the Lakeshore 155, and we want to measure it with the Keysight, and then add that measurement into the measurement results object. So let's go ahead and type that out. Okay, so at this point for each voltage, we have set the Lakeshore 155 to that voltage. We have retrieved the voltage measured by the Keysight, and then we have added a new row to the measurement results object with those values. So now the final thing we want to do is we just want to say counter plus equals however much we want the voltage to count up by. So let's just say 1 volt for now. So currently, we have a script that completes the measurements and stores those measurements in the measurement results object. But now the question is, how do we display these results to the user? Well, if you recall from the scripting UI video, then there is actually another pane in the scripting pane called the results tab. And this tab appears during runtime and can display results such as charts, tables, and reports. So let's go ahead and set up that results tab. Now when creating the Results tab, we can specify the number of empty tiles that we want the single Results tab to have. And this will allow us to put many different charts, tables, and reports next to each other on the same tab. But at the same time, you can also create multiple Results tab depending on what suits your testing environment. So you can see that in this results tab, we created a 2x2 results tab. And then finally, we just want to say call results tab dot show. And this will show the results tab to the user. So now that the results tab and the measurement results object are set up, adding charts and tables is actually quite simple. So let's go ahead and initialize a table. And then after we've created the table, we want to add the measurement results object to that table. Now the last thing that we want to do is to add that table to one of the empty tiles of the results tab. And that table will automatically update as the measurement progresses. So now let's go ahead and check our progress and see if it worked. So we'll first check syntax, seems good, and we can begin. We're going to name it. We'll just name it this for now. And you can see over here in the right hand side, this is the results tab. And in the first empty tile, our table was printed with our measurement results. So now let's say that we wanted to add a chart of our data into the results tab. So to add a chart, it's actually very similar to how we added a table. So let's go ahead and first clear the result and move into our script. And there are also many different types of charts that are all explained in the API reference. But for this video, we're just going to create a simple custom 2-axis chart. And then next, we can just add that chart to the results tab. And one more thing that we're going to have to do with the chart is that each time we add a new point, we're going to have to call add series to the chart. So we're going to do that in the while loop. So let's go ahead and test it and see if it works. And you can see that both the table and the chart updated in real time, and they both worked successfully. Now the final thing that we're going to cover in this tutorial are reports. So reports are a way that MeasureLink can display data to the user in the form of HTML. So let's go ahead and initialize a report, very similar to how we did with a table or a chart. And let's just go ahead and have the report print out, say, hello world. And then I'm just going to add the report to the results tab. Okay, so at this point we can run our final test and verify that the script works. So you can see that we have our table, we have our chart, and we have our report all in the same results tab. So that will do it for this shortcut video of the MeasureLINK-MCS software. And to learn more about MeasureLink or scripting, please see our additional videos.